We're speaking now on Friday, so about 5 days removed from the fight. Quite hard to keep track of that with the time difference stuff, isn't it? But has the buzz worn off slightly yet? Do you feel back to normal?
Yeah, it's definitely worn off now, but it does take a couple of days. That's as high as I'm going to get in my lifetime, probably. He's fighting, defending a world title in Manchester and winning is not, it doesn't get much bigger than that. So it does take a little bit of time. But luckily, everything went well. I didn't get beat up in front of my home fans. It was quite the opposite. So I am very happy with it.
Good. Do you think that's the last time those home fans are going to get to see you in the flesh?
I don't know for sure,
Mm.
but I would imagine so. The last time they were in Manchester was 8 years ago, I believe, something like that. I don't know if I'll still be doing this sport in another 8 years, to be honest. So that may be the only time in my career that I'll fight in Manchester. But I don't know. Never say never. You don't know. Maybe they'll be back next year. Who knows? But I don't know. I don't know is the honest answer. But I wouldn't imagine they'll be back again anytime soon.
Who's been the latest big name to jump on the bandwagon here? I know, like Noel Gallagher was talking to you ahead of the fight. Who's jumped on since Saturday night?
Um, in all honesty, there's been that many. I'm not. I'm struggling to keep track. I'm not even too sure. I don't know. I don't. For me, like big, massive names, it doesn't really phase me that much. Like it's pretty cool, but it's someone else wishing me good luck or congratulations or whatever. It's really nice. I appreciate all of them, whether a big name or not. And yeah, I forget about it a couple of hours after.
I guess the bandwagon's too big now as well, isn't it?
Big bandwagon,
You can't call
big
it. It's
bandwagon.
probably not a
But yeah,
bandwagon anymore. To be honest, I'm not actually sure what a genuine bandwagon is. So I'm trying to work out what is the next biggest thing to a bandwagon. I haven't really got a clue, but it's enormous now, isn't it?
yeah. It seems it. I think that fight in particular. Um, Not a lot of people would have done that
No.
under the circumstances with the whole interim title politics and fighting the guy like Curtis Blaydes under such risky circumstances and doing it at home and fighting a guy that I've lost to before and stuff like that. Like there was a lot in it.
Mhm.
So I think that with that and being able to pull it off comes a lot of um, admiration, I guess, from the quote unquote MMA community because I could have easily waited it out, mate. I could have easily waited that out. I had the option to wait it out, but
Mhm.
instead I chose to fight Curtis Blaydes, who, as I said plenty times before, in my opinion, is the toughest stylistic matchup for me in the division, and it's a risk that very, very few people would have taken. You know what I mean? I could easily have waited out a few more months or whenever, and another year or whatever, and got a super fight, got loads of money, and I risked it all on Saturday night. And I think people's opinions are starting to, if they had a bad opinion about me or whatever, I think that started to switch a little bit.
You're either going to really enjoy this or you're going to find it really cringy. But let's find out because this is just purely blowing smoke here. But I wasn't around to enjoy the Mike Tyson era in the 80s where he was coming through and it was like you had to be in your seat for the start of the first round because there was no guarantee this was going to go longer than a minute or 2 minutes. Do you feel like you're in that sort of a mode now because that's what the results seem to be?
Well, all my UFC fights have been first round finishes, bar one that was a minute into the second round. So, yeah, I think when I'm fighting, you better be watching, mate. You better not go for a brew. You
Yeah.
better not go for a beer if you're in the stadium, or you better not nip to the toilet or whatever. Like if I'm fighting, you better be there watching because I have the capabilities to finish it at any moment. And I see these people all the time questioning whether I can go into the late rounds and stuff like that. Like that's my biggest criticism at this point is oh yeah, we've not seen him in the late rounds, we've not seen him when he's tired, we've not seen like mate, I'm waiting for that myself. Somebody drag me there, please. I want it every single fight, every time, every fight. And I think my last like 5 or 6 fights or something, I've either been for a title or for a main event. So I've been prepared for 25 minutes if I need to.
Mm.
Somebody take me there if you want to see that. It's not an issue to do with me. That's an issue to do with my opponent. So I'm prepared for it. If you want to see it, take me there. Simple as that.
Are you the Mike Tyson of the UFC, Tom Aspinall?
I don't know about that. Don't know. No, I'm the Tom Aspinall of the UFC. I'm here to make my own legacy.
There we go.
One day I'll be going down as one of the greats like he is. But I mean, I'm a big fan of Mike Tyson, of course, but I'm my own guy.
You are, mate. You are. Look, we all say things that we regret saying late at night at the weekend. Do you regret saying you'd be up for being the backup for Jon Jones and Stipe?
No, absolutely not.
You're still up for
Absolutely
that?
not. I'm going to be the backup for the fight. And if one of them pulls out, you better believe I'm in on an hour's notice if I need to.
Really?
Yeah, I'll take my opportunity while it's there. And I mean, I've worked. I should be the undisputed heavyweight champion. Everybody knows that now. This is not. It's not just something I'm claiming that I've won off a fluke victory. But my body of work over the last few years shows that I've took out every contender that there is at this point, and I should be the UFC heavyweight champion, undisputed or interim, whatever. I'm the best heavyweight in the world, and I'll wipe out both of them guys in one night if I need to.
I love the confidence, man. I absolutely love it, and you've deserved it. But is there not a part of you that thinks when you do finally get to that undisputed title fight, you deserve to have a full camp, to be fully ready for it, to be fully prepared, or do you not think you need it?
I will have a full camp, mate. I'll do a full camp to turn up with a backup fighter. Do you know what I mean? I train year round anyway. It's no issue for me, mate, to fly to New York and fight somebody if I need to. I could beat these guys, no problem. Absolutely no problem. These guys, the two guys right at the back end of the career, mate. I've been fighting guys in the prime for the last 10 fights. It's no and granted, these guys' level is above the guys I've been fighting, but they're still, Stipe's 43 years old, mate.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I've been active. I've been running through contenders, literally running through contenders. Stipe's not won a fight for 5 years. Jon Jones has had one fight in 4 years. Do you know what I mean? I'm ready to step in if I need to, no problem.
So when are you going to start camp?
I've been training all week, mate. I've not stopped training.
Have you really?
Yeah. I'm going training after this interview.
Wow. Wow. Staying ready. Staying
Yeah,
ready.
I mean, it's still quite a while off, isn't it? November. Like I say, though, mate, what else, man? Like, everyone acts like we're all these, got a dead busy lifestyle now. I ain't got nothing else to do, mate. What else am I going to do all week? Sit around and watch TV? Like, I can do that in between training sessions, as I always do. Like, what am I supposed to do? My fight's done. I might as well go and, I'm just kicking about in the house. I might as well go to the gym and try and be a bit productive.
Yeah. Has there been any movement since the weekend conversations with the UFC, with your team about what's happening next for you?
We know what's happening next. I'm going to be the backup fighter in November when the fight's sorted. But at this present moment, there is no Stipe versus Jon Jones at the moment. Like, it's all rumours. There's no contract signed. There's no fight announcement. But I'm sure that when that does happen, they'll be on the phone updating me.
So have you given up the idea of fighting Alex Pereira on this card? If Jones and Stipe happens, you're content to just be the backup?
Yeah, mate, I'm fighting for the undisputed title next. And if that's against, I'll fight anybody for the undisputed title. But I'm not fighting for an interim again, mate.
Yep.
When the undisputed title's active, I'm not doing that. Then I would be a bit of an idiot. I would be a mug then. I'm not doing that, mate. If the undisputed title's active, it should be around my waist, mate.
With that in mind, are you prepared for what could be quite a lengthy wait here? Because if this fight happens in November, I mean, let's say Jon wins, for example. I mean, when are you going to be able to get him into the octagon?
That's Jon's prerogative, I guess. But
it affects you, right?
It does affect me, of course it does. And Jon Jones calls the shots. You know what I mean? We all know that. But there's a lot of pressure on the UFC now to make that fight. I've solidified it. There's a lot of fans on the case of the UFC. and a lot of media on the case of the UFC. It's, mate, it's one of the biggest fights in UFC history. It'll be me against Jon Jones. It's one of the most anticipated UFC fights out there at the moment. They're going to try and make it happen, mate. I've got full faith in the fact that they can't pass this one up. And if Jon Jones don't want to do it, they'll, if Jon Jones is not going to fight much longer, surely they've got to strip him at some point. Surely.
So do you not have faith that this Stipe Jones fight is going to be next? Do you think there's a chance you could be next for Jon Jones?
I think there's a chance, mate.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's 50-50, to be honest with you. I don't know. It's not something that I think about too much, all that stuff. Like, I try not to concern myself on stuff that I can't really control.
Yeah.
All I can control right now is I'll be ready to when they want me to be ready. And I'll take out these guys when I need to. As I said, mate, I had 1, 2. I think I was back in the gym on Tuesday, so I had 1 or 2 days off training, and then I'm back in. So I'm ready to go, mate, whenever they want me.
If you could get in a room with Jon to help negotiations along, what would you say to him to make the fight against you more appealing than the fight against Stipe?
I don't think there's anything I can say, to be honest. I don't know. I don't really know Jon. I don't know what he's all about. I don't know. I have no idea, to be honest.
So we'll move on in just a second, but just so I'm clear, are you willing to wait for your next fight to be next summer, which would be the likely time that Jones would come back if he wins in November? Are you happy to wait for a year to fight next?
I'd rather not. But if I've got no choice, then I've got no choice, have I?
And you don't
I
think
mean, I'd rather keep the ball rolling and stay active. But I'm also not willing to, lie down for anybody and be a mug and risk it again, because I've just done that. I just took a massive risk, so I ain't doing it again.
So if the UFC were thinking Pereira or Cyril Gane is the only one really up there in the heavyweights, they shouldn't bother contacting you. You're not interested.
No, I'm fighting for the undisputed title next. I deserve it, mate.
Mm-hmm.
I won't do anything other than that.
I just want to throw something else in the mix here, because by the time that, if Jones and Stipe fight in November, by the time that happens, we should have seen Francis Ngannou fight again in MMA in the PFL. We understand he's going to make his PFL debut by then. When you look at what the PFL are doing with Saudi investment, and now Saudi's invested into the UFC as well, do you think a fight with Francis Ngannou could be something you would push for if this undisputed title fight just keeps floating away from you?
It's not something I've ever really considered, to be honest. At the moment, we're in 2 different organisations, aren't we? And I can't see that. I can't see how the logistics of that work out at the moment. I spoke to Eric Nixick recently, last week actually, Francis Ngannou's coach, and I'm friends with Eric. And Eric tells me he's maybe looking to fight early next year, so I don't even know what's going on with that. Francis Ngannou is the last person I'm thinking about at the moment, mate, to be honest. Even though I've got a lot of respect for Francis, I think he's a good guy, great champion, all the rest of it. Very dangerous fighter, of course. I've got other things to think about at the moment.
You do. You seem so focused, man. When I was listening to the post-fight press conference in the early hours of Sunday, I guess because you were so excited and you were talking about, I'll do this, I'll do that. Yeah, why not? We'll do a tournament. It feels like your mindset has flicked in the last few days and you've got real clarity about what you want to do with your career.
Yeah, I just want to. I want to get what I deserve. Is what I want. I feel like I've done enough. I've done enough now. There's not a great deal of people taking the risk that I've took, mate.
Yeah.
In the last couple of fights, there's not, and I've put a lot on the line for myself, and I've put a lot on the line for this company, and I feel like I should be the #1 heavyweight in the world, and everyone should know about it. So that's what I'm going for.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. I understand it. Just quickly, Tom, I just want to ask you about a couple other things that happened on Saturday night. We saw Leon Edwards came on after you against Bilal Muhammad. The fight didn't go his way. Did you see that one coming?
No, I didn't actually. If you would ask me the full card top to bottom, which fight would I guarantee a winner, I would say that Leon was guaranteed to win the most out of anyone else on the card, in my eyes at least. But mate, this is MMA. I mean, Bilal went in and just absolutely fought out of his skin, didn't he? He looked absolutely unreal.
Yeah.
Um, Leon didn't look himself to me. I don't know what's going on there. I've not spoken to him. I don't want to bother him right now, but I'm sure he'll have his own reasons, and he'll be back, no doubt.
Yeah, yeah. He did mention the fact that he felt a bit tired all week, and the timing of the fight really didn't suit him. It didn't seem to affect you, but can you understand where he's coming from with that? These late starts probably not ideal for top level athletes.
Yeah, mate, it's not great. It was a long old day on Saturday. Yeah, if I had the option, I wouldn't do it again. But at the same time, it's your job, isn't it? So you got to move with it. So I did everything that I could to prepare for being awake at that time. I made some mistakes, and if I have to do it again, I'll learn from it next time. But ultimately, if I have the option, I'd rather fight at 10, 11 o'clock like normal as opposed to 5 a.m.
Yeah, and just finally, Tom, a quick word on someone you know well. Mohammed Makayev got the win on Saturday night, but now looks like he has been let go by the UFC. What do you make of this situation? I know you're really fond of Mo.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's not great, is it, mate? Let's be honest. It's a bad spot for Mohammed to be in. It's a shame for him. I would say, if you act like that, then you're going to get them consequences. But there's plenty more people act like that in the UFC. Do you know what I
Mm.
mean? I know there's definitely some stuff that the media don't know about that's gone on. I know that for sure. But it's like that every time. Do you know what I mean? People have beef with each other, and it's just a shame for Mohammed. I'm hoping that they give him another chance. Of course, the guy deserves to get his glory and be a champion.
Yeah, do you think we'll see him back in the UFC at some point, even if it's not straight away?
I hope so. I
Yeah.
hope so. I'm just a bit scared that Dana actually come out and said it himself on a presser. Do you know what I mean? And I think I feel like when Dana says it at a press conference, it's kind of tough to go back on that kind of thing, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's not like some media article reported it in its headline, and Dana's actually come out himself and said, yeah, he's not fighting the UFC anymore. And I think that's tough to come back from. But I really hope he manages to come back and win a title one day.
Yeah, I guess the only caveat there is that Dana said a lot of things in that presser. A lot of things got said. He wasn't a happy boy. Looked like he just lost.
Yeah, he wasn't too happy, was he? I don't know. But I think I felt like it was an unbelievable atmosphere in there. I thought it would have been buzzing, but who knows?
Who knows? Who knows? Look, these are issues for other people. These are other fighters. You, my friend, have got big, big, big things ahead of you. What is going to be in store for you between now and, as you say, potentially ramping up a camp for being the backup for Stipe and Jones, if that is to happen? What are you going to do for the next, what would it be, 6 weeks or so? Just going to keep on training, keep on tracking along?
Yeah, mate, I'm going away in a couple of days, so I'll be enjoying that a little bit. But other than that, mate, my life's quite mundane. I just train. I
Mm.
just train, spend time with my kids, and sleep. Do you know what I mean? I don't live. There's nothing too exciting going on, mate, in my world. That Saturday night's as exciting as it gets, which, in all fairness, is pretty damn exciting. So, yeah, I'm just preparing myself to be the best version of myself that I can be, and that's it.
I love that.
Nothing spectacular.
Super boring lifestyle, but then every few weeks pops up, shakes up the world, makes history, and then goes back into mundane life again. Not bad, Tommy, not bad.
Exactly.
All right, Tom, we really appreciate your time as always. Congratulations again. Sensational performance. We look forward to speaking again soon. Who knows, maybe you're going to get right to the front of the queue and you'll be there at MSG fighting for the undisputed. That's what we hope to see, man.
Thanks, mate. Fingers crossed. I'll be ready either way. I'm fighting both in the same night if you want to. I'm easy.